What's up, guys? Simone Fan 101. This is my second attempt at recording. My first one was interrupted, which sucks, but it's all I got. So, this is gonna be the hopefully the last overview of the last week of wrestling for a little bit, because Monday Night Raw, Impact, Lucha Underground, NXT, and if I ever get to it, Ring of Honor. Um, all those shows I have not watched yet, so hopefully, uh, I'll be able to do separate reviews. Being that this is the last week of before WrestleMania, 6 days till WrestleMania, 4 days to Takeover, 4 days to, I believe it was not Ring of Honor's anniversary show, but it's their All Star Extravaganza. I forget the name of it, but a major Ring of Honor event in Texas is happening. So yes, Ring of Honor and NXT are going head to head. My guess is NXT is winning because WWE. But Ring of Honor does have one ace up its sleeve, and that's the Motor City Machine Guns reunion. Yes, Sabin and Shelley are back, and they are going to face the Young Bucks, which is going to be the shit. Seriously, there's like 5 awesome matches I could pluck from these three events. Ambrose and Ambrose and Lesnar, Styles and Jericho, Owens and Zayn if they give him a singles match. It's still not clear whether or not it's a singles match. Um, not Aries and Corbin, although I know it's going to be a good match. American Alpha and the Revival, Zayn and Nakamura, Asuka and Bayley, Balor and Joe, and the Young Bucks versus Motor City Machine Guns. That's 8 matches. I'm predicting that will be great. Do not disappoint. Please. I have my high hopes. Do not bring my hopes down. Please. So just brief, drawback of what happened on Monday Night Raw. New Day, after basically, you could say, turned face after defeating the League of Nations representatives, which was Alberto Del Rio and Rusev in a WWE Tag Team Championship match. After that was a long beatdown segment, so long that I had to fast forward because it was taking too damn long. Afterwards, we had a very good segment, probably one of the best segments of the night with Lesnar, Heyman, and Ambrose. Ambrose had a crowbar. Lesnar could not get into the ring even though he tried, which means that he is not a complete pussy, but he just had to back off forcibly. Later in the night, Mick Foley returned and for a backstage segment said, "Yeah, crowbar's good, but take this one." They consider it a passing of the torch. And Ambrose, it was in a giant present box. Ambrose took off the lid and pulled out a barbed wire baseball bat. I freaking loved that. Anything can beat up Brock Lesnar. It's a goddamn barbed wire baseball bat. I'm gonna say this right now. This match would be a hell of a lot better if it had blood. Hell in a Cell, not so much. That one doesn't need blood. It's not exactly a blood feud, but Lesnar and Ambrose need blood. Not need blood, but it helps a hell of a lot. Crack in my back feels good. Later on, we had several stuff throughout the night. Zayn beat Miz. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Well, then other than the fact that Kevin Owens interfered on Zayn's behalf because Miz decided to attack Kevin Owens because Miz is a complete prick. Yeah. Although I will say this, the best wrestler of the night, the wrestler that I loved more than anybody on here, wasn't Dean Ambrose, wasn't Triple H, wasn't Brock Lesnar, wasn't Undertaker, wasn't Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens. Sure as hell wasn't Roman Reigns. It was actually Dolph Ziggler. I know you probably don't believe me, but just hear me out. Ziggler came out to confront Triple H and Stephanie, who were basically destroying the crowd. Of course, the first thing Stephanie did was slap him in the face. Of course, if I was Ziggler, I would have punched the bitch right in the mouth. But I'm not Dolph Ziggler, and I don't work in WWE, so I don't want to get fired. So, Ziggler, he just, wow. He was very good. He, brought up the fact that, at Survivor Series, I think it was actually last week, but I believe you brought it up again. It was Ziggler was one of the most over guys at the end of 2014. He had this big Survivor Series win, which from what I hear was actually meant to go to Roman Reigns, but it wouldn't have worked for Roman Reigns even back then, because remember he was being cheered back then. Wouldn't have worked back then because Roman Reigns wasn't the underdog type of guy that Ziggler is. Nor is he the underappreciated wrestler that Ziggler is. Underappreciated by WWE, but beloved by the fans. So it was just, I loved Ziggler being here, and later on they had a match, Triple H and Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler won. Other than the WWE title match, he would choose any match to either want to be in or choose, or whatever. Or opponent, whatever. But Ziggler lost, but even in defeat, Ziggler looked absolutely great. Ziggler looked better in this match than he had all of last year. And I said the same thing in my Royal Rumble pay-per-view review, when Ziggler and Triple H were briefly facing off against each other in the match. Triple H made Ziggler look like a star. And it's obvious that Triple H likes Dolph Ziggler. He likes Dolph Ziggler. But, Vince McMahon's company, guys, spaghetti straw hair, he put him in the mid-card. We want Roman Reigns, yeah. Fuck you, Vince. Speaking of Vince, main event segment of the night was Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, and Undertaker facing off against each other in a talking segment. Undertaker has yet to explain why he's basically doing Vince's work when he could just tell Vince to fuck off. Shane called Undertaker Vince McMahon's little bitch. So he's shooting on Undertaker here. Nice. It was a good segment. Shane fought Taker. Taker fought Shane. Vince, being a little bitch, pushed Shane into Taker. Taker chokeslammed Shane. And of course, after that happened, Taker tried to go after Vince. And Vince was like, I'm getting the hell out of here. Seriously, if they don't tombstone Vince McMahon at the end of WrestleMania, I will be sad. But one thing I did like, one thing I did and didn't like, the return of Roman Reigns. Oh boy. The actual return itself was actually pretty good. He went through the aisleway, which is weird because he always goes through the crowd. Considering the amount of booze and shit he's been getting, going through the aisleway, probably a good idea because he doesn't want to die. I'm afraid he's going to get shanked. Their actual return itself, like I said, was actually pretty good. He beat the shit out of Triple H. He made Triple H bleed. He accidentally hurt somebody else. And he had a giant, like monitor or some shit, like a TV monitor, over Triple H's back, which had to hurt like hell. But the crowd didn't give one shit about... The crowd doesn't care about Roman Reigns. They don't care about Roman Reigns anymore. They already have their guy in Dean Ambrose, like they had their guy in Daniel Bryan. Why? Because they organically melded with the crowd. Roman Reigns is so obviously trying to be turned into John Cena 2.0. He should never be John Cena 2.0. God. The WWE idiots. Or as I like to call Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn. Those two assholes. Because I know for a fact Triple H wouldn't like this. And I know some people are thinking, well, Vince McMahon can probably come up with good ideas. Okay, yeah, they can be approved by Vince. He can even make them up. But a lot of the shit ideas or shit things that WWE does, it is all approved by one man, Vince. And Kevin Dunn, because he's got Vince's ear. Oh, God. It was just bullshit. Mom, I'm recording. I know. My niece is here right now. Mom, I'm recording a video.
Hello. Hello.
And this is my niece Samantha. How you doing, Samantha? Yeah.
Wrestling, my favorite topic.
Okay. My niece hijacking my video. Oh God, I love my niece. She's only 5 months old and she's already a fat, chubby baby, but I love her. On to TNA. We got some big news this week. Right? God. First of all, before I continue, as of Saturday night, I think Bobby Roode and Eric Young both asked for their releases in TNA, which they got. Both of them just lost their respective championships the last taping that they were in, which effectively breaks up the Beer Money reunion. That saddens me. And breaks up the tag team of Bram and Eric Young. So, X-Nay on 2 tag teams. That really sucks, considering the fact that they're low enough on tag teams as it is, as well as Davey Richards being out of commission. Because what tag teams do they have? They have the Decay and the Wolves. And that's it. Beer Money is broken up now. I mean, the next few weeks, the next month and a half, we'll still have Roode and Young on our TV screens, but Beer Money is effectively broken up. Bram and Eric Young are broken up. And we only have Decay and the Wolves. And Davey Richards is out of commission. So I heard a suggestion maybe James Storm and Eddie Edwards can make a makeshift tag team. Gotta turn off the fan. It's killing my throat. Another thing that happened, well, let's just go to the show. Jeff Hardy beat EY in a number 1 contendership match. It ended up being number 1 contendership because Dixie Carter came out in the middle of the show and announced it. Oh, middle of the show, middle of the match. Because, Eric Young's being a little shithead. And Jeff Hardy won the match. It was an okay match, but considering Jeff Hardy's not 100% and is wearing a knee brace, that actually worries me about what his condition and why he's doing it like that. Jeff won the match. He was added to the TNA World Heavyweight Title match, which was Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and EC3, Ethan Carter III. We briefly got a segment between Jeff, Matt, and Rebby Sky, Matt's wife, begging him to not take the match and say, hey, I'll give you a title match in 2016 and 2017. No, 2017 and 2018. Matt Hardy is absolutely wonderful at playing a prick. He is so great at it. In a tag team match, Mike Bennett and Maria beat Gail Kim and Drew Galloway in a tag team match. Of course, this was with the help of bullshit from Mike Bennett, Maria pinned Gail Kim. Maria's not that good of a wrestler, I'm going to say that right now. But then again, we haven't seen her wrestle in TNA, so maybe she got good. There was a segment between Lashley and Josh Matthews explaining why Lashley turned heel and attacked Kurt Angle. Basically, it was just a matter of he was underappreciated. He was not on a roll. He needed to get on a roll. He needed to be Kurt Angle and prove that he really is the destroyer. So that's exactly what he did. He destroyed Kurt Angle. And after he felt like being disrespected by Josh Matthews, he threw him around. D'Angelo Dinero, the Pope, or Elijah Burke in WWE as we once knew him, came into the ring to try to calm down Lashley. He went to check on Matthews. Then Lashley attacked the Pope and speared the Pope to hell. I loved it. And later on commentary, we got Jeremy Borash on commentary instead of the Pope, and Jeremy Borash needs to be a permanent commentator because Jeremy Borash is actually pretty damn good. Whenever Jeremy Borash and Mike Tenay commentated together, it was very, very good. After that, we got I believe it was a tag team match tag team match of the Decay, which was Rosemary, Crazy Steve, and Abyss facing off against the Beer Money and the Wolves, or one of the Wolves, Eddie Edwards. David Richards was out of action. It was actually a decent match here. I liked it. The nice spot fest and everything. There was a segment between Matt Hardy, Reby Sky, and Dixie Carter backstage briefly. Dixie wanted Dixie added some kind of stipulation. Oh yeah, she to the triple threat match. I think it was no disqualification, no count, which is normal in triple threat matches anyway. So why the hell would she announce it? Again, this is a woman who's clueless about wrestling, sort of. Grado came out with a segment with Billy Corgan, and the video package was Grado actually had the King of the Mountain Championship briefcase from Feast or Fired, but Eli Drake being an awesome heel and also a prick, decided to switch the briefcases on Grado when Grado wasn't looking. So Grado should not have been fired. So instead, there was a ladder match. If Grado won, he'd get his job back. If not, he'd still be fired. Grado won, he gets his job back. My only problem with this was that with two problems. One, I don't really care about Grado. Two, it completely eliminated the purpose of Feast or Fired with the storyline. Thanks a lot, TNA. TNA, everybody. Match itself wasn't even that good. There was a brief segment with EY, Bram, and Willow backstage. I think it may have been just a joke. But Willow was backstage, the Jeff Hardy other guy, and Eric Young pointed out he went nuts. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and EC3 triple threat match went about 17 minutes. You think it'd be pretty awesome, or at least very good. Problem? Everyone imaginable interfered in this match. Mike Bennett interfered. Bram and Eric Young, Rockstar Spud and Tyrus. I don't know who else. I'm pretty sure somebody else did. Maybe it was the Decay. I don't know. But everyone interfered, and it really ruined the match for me. I mean, we really could have had a great wrestling match. But I will admit, they did pretty much get me back into it when Galloway came out, cashed in his TNA World Heavyweight title Feast or Fired briefcase, and won the TNA World Championship. I love this. Galloway deserved a World Championship run, a world title reign. Why? He's world title material. EC3 and Drew Galloway are two perfect examples of guys that WWE screwed over. They overlooked EC3 for how good he really was, and completely dropped the ball on Drew Galloway. It's just bullshit. But Galloway won the TNA World Heavyweight title. Believe it or not, out of all the TNA World Title Feast or Fired holders, World Title cases, Galloway's the first to win. Steiner won the first one back in 2007. He didn't win. Then it was Hernandez. He didn't win. Then it was Samoa Joe. He didn't win. And more recently, it was Austin Aries last year. He didn't win. So, all of them didn't win. Galloway was the first, and I'm really glad because those other guys were established stars. Exception of Hernandez, but nobody cared. Galloway was a rising star. So he needed this. Next, Lucha. I'll go to NXT first because Lucha Underground was the best show this week. We had a brief segment between Sami Zayn and William Regal before Regal announced that he did deserve a huge opponent at NXT TakeOver. And on the Titantron, on the screen, we got static. Who do we see? Shinsuke Nakamura. Finally, we get Shinsuke Nakamura. Hell yeah, I loved this. This was the best thing of the night with the exception of the main event. And let me just skim through the matches here. The Hype Bros defeated Angelo Dawkins and Kev Crawford with the Hype Rider. Emma defeated Deonna Purrazzo, who was also on TNA. So it's like she's the only one working WWE and TNA. I find that funny. Tommaso Ciampa defeated Jesse Sorensen, also TNA fame. Though he was years ago. Asuka and Bayley defeated Eva Marie and Nia Jax. After the match was over, Regal came back out and announced Asuka was the number one contender for Bayley's women's title. Then we had an Austin Aries interview, which was very good. It was a very good Austin Aries interview, but it wasn't the normal interview. It was basically a split screen where the announcers were talking to Austin Aries through like a split screen, like camera, like probably from his house or whatever. And then one of the best things of the night, the other great thing of the night, American Alpha defeating the Vaudevillains for number one contendership for the WWE Tag Team titles. Not WWE, NXT Tag Team titles. Chad Gable is the man. And Jason Jordan's also the man. But Chad Gable's awesome. If you don't like Chad Gable, something's wrong with you. You freaking suck. Although, I do see a problem with Chad Gable. Vince is going to think he's too short. And he can't make it. Even though he's one of the greatest wrestlers there is. Right now. In a singles match, I'll bet you he is money in singles matches. But let's get to Lucha Underground. And in case the video feed cuts out here, because I think it may cut out soon, but if it doesn't, I'll keep going. I'll make a part 2 if it does. So, just with that said, let's go to Lucha Underground, because I want this to be a full review. Lucha Underground, first, before the show actually began, the show was dedicated to now dead wrestler hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, Eiji Izaki. More commonly known as Hayabusa. He was a great wrestler, and now he's gone. I know Hayabusa because he competed in that one awesome tag team match at Heatwave, WECW Heatwave, 1998. It was Hayabusa and some other guy against Sabu and RVD. It was awesome. Beginning the show, we got Phoenix and Katrina in the back. In the locker room area, Katrina made out with Phoenix, saying that she wanted the Phoenix's power, and she does at times wonder if she should have just stayed with Phoenix. And they made out. Gotta say this right now, I actually like the idea of Phoenix and Katrina getting together. Because, seriously, that chick is hot. Who wouldn't want to hit that? Team Ivelisse, Son of Havoc, and Angelico defeated the Disciples of Death for the Lucha Underground Trios Championship.